Your Mustang's leaving today, Greg. I just got word from Reliable. They're picking it up in 10 minutes at Junction. You want to go see it leave?
Yeah, let's go see it.
So the day has come, Greg.
Yeah.
We got to ship your car.
Yeah, I know. It's sad, isn't it?
So those of you that don't know, we're in Michigan and we get a lot of snow, and every fall, winter, Greg will sell his beloved GT500 and get himself a pickup truck like
It's
this.
a sad day.
He loves the diesel. It had to be a high output because it's got 1,000 and something foot-pounds of torque.
1,200.
Why don't you tell them the story about how you got into the GT500s?
Demo, the guy running the camera right now, he was after me to get a GT500 when they first came out. I'm like, I don't need one of those. I had a Mustang GT. I drive a lot of miles back and forth to work. And why would you drive one of those that far back and forth, 50 miles each way? So I went in for heart surgery. And while I was laying in bed, I called him up and said, you know what? It's time to get one. Who's crazy enough to drive one of those 50 miles each way back and forth to work? I have put about 100. Oh, there we go. Isn't this great? Hey, Adam, what's going on?
Hey, the wood kit for the pickup truck. It's so like without it being finished, it's 7 to 10 days, and basically add a week to it if we want it finished.
Get it finished.
Okay. Do you want a gloss or what was my other option? Gloss
Satin.
or satin?
Satin.
Okay. Okay, sounds good.
All right, buddy. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Always on call. Anyway, back to the story. Who's crazy enough to put about 100,000 miles on a GT500? Well, I am about 28,000 miles at a time. So I'm on my 5th one.
So I'll never forget, Greg's in the hospital, we're chatting on the phone, and he's like, find me a GT500. I'm like, you ready? We doing it? And 2 weeks later, we got it.
Oh yeah, it was, and you know, I'm stuck now. I gotta have one. It's an amazing car, which you're gonna see it here in a minute.
Do you have any regrets getting GT500s or buying that car?
No, not at all.
You gonna cry?
Oh man, I tell you, this is probably, I thought that the red one was my favorite one, but the black one is just, I mean, more attention. You can't even believe how much attention you get driving that baby down the road. Let's get out and take a look. So here she is. It's a track pack car. See those gigantic brakes on this thing? Now the track pack car comes with the carbon fiber wheels, the carbon fiber wing and everything. And what I do with the wheels is I've got a set of aluminums that look just like it. And I've got some all-season tires that I run on it. So those rims and tires only have 2,000 miles on them. That's what the previous owner put on it. So we always pull them off. You don't want to hurt one of those babies. They tell me $7,500 a piece to replace it. Let's take a look inside. The Recaro seats. I mean, she's just absolutely beautiful. And of course, all of our detail guys, he's constantly waxing on this thing and keeping it clean for me. That's JD. He does a great job for us, making sure everything's nice and clean.
What was your favorite thing about this GT500?
I mean, the accelerator's like magic. You want to go around somebody, I don't know if I should be saying this on camera or not, but they're lowering it down there. I've driven 100 miles an hour more in the last 5 years than I have in the whole rest of my life. Because, I mean, you just about can't help yourself. No, it's being reborn.
A baptism.
And we're at a baptism, yeah.
She's going to New Jersey.
Yep. I think the new owner's name's Tim.
Any words for Tim?
Tim, be careful with my baby and take good care of it. top, see what's going on. I know you guys get to see a lot of our cars and that, but you don't really get to see what we actually do to some of the cars. Well, we bought a 68 Charger, and the guy had just rebuilt the motor. Well, here's the motor now. It was a 383, now it's a 496. We put a stroker kit in it because he didn't know what he was doing when he did the motor. One of the things that you can see, the rings are in the bore right here. He just finished gapping the rings. We got a 20 thou gap on the top ring, a 25 thou gap on the bottom ring. You can see the heads were done. You can see we had this thing at the machine shop. They completely cleaned it all up. We're setting up the heads here. We got the rods there, all the parts right here. He'll be putting this all together today. It's going to take him a couple days to get together. There's the brand new crank we're putting in there. And this is going into a 68 Charger, which you're going to see on our website here real soon. Let's go see what else is going on. The GTO, one of the things we do is a lot of electrical work, because a lot of times the guys do the easy stuff. Well, electrical work isn't necessarily easy. This car, we got all the gauges working in this car. Not one gauge in this thing was working. You see how beautiful the car is, but they didn't take the time to do the gauges. So we took care of the gauges on this baby. And then this is one of my favorites. My dad's favorite was always 57 Ford. It was the first car he ever bought brand new, and I actually have Dad's original car. This is a retractable. It had some issues with the retractable top, which we got all that fixed up. And then you can see under the dash there, we actually installed an aftermarket AC unit on this because this baby's going down south. And you guys who live down south already know how hot it is down there. You gotta have air conditioning. Dennis is actually, come here, Dennis. What are you doing to this little 340?
So it's 340, now going to be a little over 400 cubic inch.
You put a stroker kit in it?
We stroked it up, yeah.
Okay.
All new
And what was
rods.
wrong with this thing when it came in?
It had aftermarket rods, aftermarket pistons, and was never balanced.
Oh, that's right. This was the Milwaukee vibrator,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, it ain't a Harley.
No,
you
no
can't
Harley.
have your Barracuda vibrating like a Harley. So yeah, he's just getting ready to put all this back together, and then that 3 deuce setup's going on there too. That'll be really cool. Let's see what else is going on. The Willys here. This is a sold unit. They get the suspension taken apart on this right now. Right now, the crossbar here that keeps the rear end centered in the car, there was a little crack in here, so they added some bracing in here, welded it all up. They'll paint that all up, put everything back together, and we'll get this baby shipped out to its new owner. That little street rod just got sold too, so it's getting its final inspection done on it. Then we've got this little blue Mustang here, man. You want to talk about gorgeous? I just did the video on this yesterday. You can hop on our website, check that out. And then of course this thing's got a Shafroth small block in it. It's an amazing build. And then we've got the Riv. Everybody knows what a boat tail Riv is. And for you young guys, the reason they call it a boat tail is because doesn't it look like the back end of a boat back here? What are you doing to this car, Ron?
Everything.
Everything. Looks like, again, like I said earlier, fixing the dash. There's a lot of the things that we do. Of course, a lot of these older cars, all that stuff broke early on. And even now, obviously, it's really old now. So we get all those gauges working so you don't have to. Look what the guys did for me. That's my truck. They pulled it in there today and washed it for me. Isn't that cool of them? We got a beautiful little Mustang convertible sitting right here. It's getting its final inspection done too. I just did the video on that one. The dash is out of this little Mustang, again, for the gauges. If you take a look there, that's why people don't do the wiring on the cars, because there's a lot of wiring in there. The speedo wasn't working correctly in this one, and then when we put the speedo in, we determined that the light behind the speedo was a different color than the lights for the other gauges, so we had to take it all back apart again and make sure all those lights, so those things all looked alike. And that's a real quick look at what we do here at Vanguard every day.